And he used it as a kind of, it was the idea of, you're not just doing it for pain, you're using it to kind of to bring them up, but you're also using it as a kind of, you're he was dominating them if they doubted themselves. And
Hmm.
he was using these in these really kind of really genius kind of ways, and it's like, whoa, that's such a good idea. It's like you're giving them this sexual pleasure, but you're also building them up. You don't need to
Yeah.
be degrading and doing whatever. But what if we are doing these things and we step over the line?
Hmm.
It could be something really bad. It could be like you spit on them and they go, oh, fuck you, disgusting, and don't want to see you again. Or it could be something, but you still think, okay, I might have. Now with like the Me Too movements, the focus on people being like misbehaving is probably a general term, but the kind of things I mean. But how do we how do we dial back? How do we apologize? How do we make sure that can these things be saved? How do we talk to a partner if we fuck up in that sense? Does it depend on the nature of it, or how do we have that conversation and say, look, sorry, but I know I did wrong. How do we then
Right.
move on from it? What kind of work would you do with somebody when you do whatever it is?
Hmm.
I suppose it
When you
depends on the action, but
Yeah, it definitely depends on the actions, and it depends on the like the coupleships specifically, but genuinely to just apologize to them, to just say like, "Oh man, I am so sorry, and I'm so sorry that that happened," and then ask them like, "What can I make it up to you? What can I do to make you feel safe again? What can I do to eradicate that?" But the best way of of dealing with the the best way to deal with that is preventative, right? You don't want to. This is after. This is like cleanup after you fucked up, right? Instead, you want to be preventative,
yeah,
which by asking things like, hey, like what we talked about earlier, by saying, hey, baby, do you want me to spank you right now? Do you want me to like hold you down? By testing those things out, I think that's the best way rather than trying to clean up the damage.
it's like getting the horse back in after it's bolted into the stables. Because I
Yeah,
think everybody watched 50 Shades of Grey. Terrible movie for the dialogue, but everybody
I
watched it
didn't
for the
watch
sex.
it. I didn't watch it.
You're lucky. And it also gives BDSM a bad reputation because it doesn't portray a true kind of, like he basically pushes in and he's kind of forced, and everybody's like, oh, that means I can go do that to my partner. So they go and strike her or they do
Yeah.
whatever it is, and she goes, what the fuck? This is not, and I think that's the kind of things is we're not realizing there is a lot of benefit to these things, but they have to be agreed. They have to be slowly introduced. And, in that film, they're talking, she's like, no anal fisting. And where a lot of times it's, yeah, I like the idea of restraints, but I don't want all my feet, all my limbs restrained. Okay, I like the idea of that, but can we try it first?